Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles of the great millstone that told me what I know today, and as well as giving you brothers your deserved salutations for forwarding this ministry worldwide. And shalom to the Yakim Waf Yam. And I'm just going to briefly speak on this video that I saw on the Guardian of Sloppy Old Joe. I'm falling. You know, once again, he fell before, but he's fallen again. And this is indicative of the inevitable which is forth to come. As we always preach, week in and week out, the fall of Babylon, aka known as America. And, you know, Joe Biden is the right kind of guy to lead the way in terms of the country is concerned, because he represents the state of the country, you know. And when you watch this video, getting to the point now of this topic, if you watch this video, you'll see this Jake sitting in the middle. So as soon as he gets up, what I'll do is I'll play the video. Let's play it now so you can see what I'm talking about. See, if you pay attention, that Jake, he tried to keep a serious face. But when he got up, man, and he moved towards his seat, I think he was moving towards maybe the microphone because he was gonna say some more words, or probably he was gonna go sit down. So as soon as he got up, you know, he busted out laughing, and everybody did as well while he was sitting down. And it just reminds me of the scripture, man, where it says that the enemies of our people, I'm roughly paraphrasing the scripture, but these Edomites, they'll be considered the gazing stock towards the world. And this is what we see. You know, even the American people consider their own country as a joke now. You know, so what I want to do is I want to read the book of, let's just go and get Isaiah 14 and verse 13. And we're going to begin by reading verse 12. We're going to get to the point. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So Lucifer just simply means someone that's bearing the light. And Esau, in this case, is bearing the light, which is the knowledge of wickedness, which is no wisdom, right? And it also mentions that this is Isaiah 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And the term Lucifer just means someone that's bearing the light. In this case, Esau is bearing the light, proclaiming themselves to be the illuminated ones, especially those within the you know, the secret brotherhood, to be cut down to the ground. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. And yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Right? So that's where the bus is going to stop next for America, and as well as the Edomites in general. They're going to be brought down to the ground. So Joe Biden falling twice already. He fell down on the steps. I believe it was like, what, 2 years ago, I believe, or a year and a half ago. And he's been shown to fall again. So as I've said, and I'll say this again, this is an indication of the inevitable, which is going to be epic. And I'm talking about the fall of America, aka Babylon the Great, which has the blood of the saints upon it. And the ultimate reason why America is going to fall big time in a very destructive manner, because their sins have reached unto heaven. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the book of Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. I tell you what, let's read verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all of the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, and therefore the nations are mad. And one thing that I can think about is sodomy. And that whole ideology of sodomy has been spread towards certain countries around the world, and including certain parts of Africa like Uganda and many other places. All right, and they're getting on Uganda about how they're gonna sanction them because they're gonna pass this law that's gonna allow the Ugandan government to put these individuals to the ground, pretty much. So America's forcing their ways down the throat of many nations. So let's read verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgments reached unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Now, back in the ancient world, and people still do this now, the different seasonings, and you would merge all of that together, all of your healing seasonings and your herbs, and turn it into a balm, and you would rub it on your skin, and it would bring the healing on the flesh, so to speak. All right. So just to fast forward, in this case, it's referring to Babylon being healed, which cannot be healed because her wounds have been severe. You can't heal a severe wound. You can only heal a wound which is little. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. And that's them nations talking, because them nations are realizing that, wait a minute, we thought that we could actually get a better way of life. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back home to our own country, because we done found out that America was not what it was telling us that it was. All right. America wasn't or sort of what it was made to be. So we're going to go leave this fallen nation and we're going to go back to our own country. So yeah, let me read verse 9 once more again. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And this is why America will be brought down in the way that it's going to be brought down, in a nuclear destructive way, because of their sins. And I mean, I've heard so many people, passionate about restoring Americans back to what they used to be and everything. But America's no longer going to go back there anymore. All right. America's through. You might as well just stick a fork in it and be done with it. The whole Western world, for that matter, is basically through. The morals even of the people of the West have declined greatly. Economically, it's declined greatly. Suicides has gone up. Depression is at an all-time high. I mean, this place is finished, man. Okay? And it's just going to get worse. And the fall of Biden just signifies that. So much so. So now let's go and read the book of Revelations 18 and verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrows give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And this is the mentality of the American people. We have the greatest nuclear power ever. We have the greatest democracy ever. Right? And we're just too high and mighty to fall. But in that's what they're going to bear witness to, in the greatest sense. All of that which is sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. And yes, this is what the world is going to see. The world is going to see the great hall, which will be judged greatly. All right. And this is what this signifies. All right. What else do I have to say? So with that, I'm going to just close this one out, giving all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. And you know what? What I'll do is I'll read some more precepts, because I was just about to leave there. I was thinking about these precepts. So we're going to read them, and then we'll close out. This is Psalms 20 and verse 8. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Saith the Lord, let the King hear us when we call. So, the point is in verse 8, really, as we're seeing the downfall of our enemies right in front of us, what's happening? Simultaneously, we're rising up because of the gospel which was given unto us, which brought back us to life. Okay? The words of the Lord are life. So these words have entered into us and invigorated us, and now we stand upright. Now let's read some more scriptures, and let's get this in the book of Job 4. And we're going to read, let's just begin by reading verse 3. Behold, thou hast instructed many, and thou hast strengthened the weak hands. Thy words have upholden him that was fallen, and thou hast strengthened the feeble knees. And we were feeble at one time. Now we've been strengthened. Why? Because we have this word. The word has strengthened us, given us hope of things which is forth to come. Prior before that, we've been taught as to who we are, that we're God's chosen people. And as well as on top of that, we have the kingdom that's coming our way. All right. And we're higher, so all of that, which goes back to our forefather Abraham. And we're going to put on these things. So this is another reason why we've been strengthened and upholding, because of the words of the Lord. The words of the Lord are what? As I'm going to say once again, the words of life. And now we are invigorated. We know what our purpose is. We know who we are, and we know what's coming our way. And as well as I can't even forget to mention, is to see the fall of our enemies, which is going to lead to our reestablishment as a supremacy, the holy sense of God, which will be the supremacy of the face of the earth. So that's what Yahweh Shai is going to establish now. All right. So that's all I'm going to say right here. Now I'm going to close, and I say Shalom.